أهلا وسهلا. أهلا وسهلا. That means welcome. أهلا وسهلا. So you can stop there. Just say أهلا وسهلا. That's very neutral. But if you want to tailor make to direct it directly to one single male, you say بك. أهلا وسهلا بك. To a female, أهلا وسهلا بك. So note the ending, the attached pronoun again, ka and ki. أهلا وسهلا بك. أهلا وسهلا بك. Now, ya vocative, you can use that to call attention of somebody before you call their name. You say, Ya Imran. أهلا وسهلا بك يا محمد. أهلا وسهلا بك يا زينب. So notice all these elements. أهلا وسهلا phrase is the same when directed at a man or a woman. But if you want to personalize it, you will say bika or biki, depending on the gender. Ya, if you want to mention their name, you can use the vocative particle. Ya, and then a name. So أهلا وسهلا بك. Let's try this out. ما اسمك؟ اسمي عمران. أهلا وسهلا بك يا عمران. أهلا وسهلا بك يا فيصل. Talking to a female now. السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام. ما اسمك؟ اسمي زينب. أهلا وسهلا بك يا زينب. Next, to a man or a woman, you can just use a very neutral phrase, فرصة سعيدة. فرصة سعيدة. Pleased to meet you. Although this phrase is used to mean pleased to meet you, let's analyze the individual vocabulary words. فرصة is an opportunity. فرصة. سعيدة, that's mean happy. It's like a happy opportunity. So that phrase is used for pleased to meet you. فرصة سعيدة. And it's neutral. We are not personalizing it to anybody. So that's why we are not identify the gender. You can use to anybody. فرصة سعيدة. Response تشرفنا. emphasis. تشرفنا. We are honored. تشرفنا. Now the response فرصة سعيدة تشرفنا. From the beginning, for instance, if I meet you, I will say Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam will be your response. ما اسمك؟ اسمي فيصل. أهلا وسهلا بك يا فيصل. أهلا وسهلا بك يا عمران. فرصة سعيدة. تشرفنا. Now, to a female now, I will say Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. ما اسمك؟ You say اسمي زينب. أهلا وسهلا بك يا زينب. أهلا وسهلا بك يا عمران. فرصة سعيدة. تشرفنا. Okay, how we have now the poster in front of you is about the Arabic letters in their joined forms. Arabic, of course, is not written in isolate formats. It's written in joined form, coming from right to the left across the page. Having thoroughly studied your alphabet from Alif to Ya in isolate format, this will introduce you to how the letters are joined. You can see at the beginning you will see the Alif. You see the gap between them, which means it cannot be joined to the left. The same thing can be said for the Dal. You see the gap there as well. And the Val, and the Ra, Zain, and Wow. That will be discussed with you shortly. And inshallah, we'll also show you how to achieve this joining process, the hand movement. You will see that on the board shortly. But just to have an overview, you will see the ba at the beginning, ba in the middle, and ba in the end. And same thing for ta and tha. The jim, you will note that all the tails have been cut off when it's in the joint form, and they're straight, they will be on the line. That will be explained to you later on. The same thing with ha and kha. Dal, of course, I told you about that, one of the naughty letters, and dhal, ra, and zain, and wow, that's naughty letters. So inshallah, just have a quick look at this poster, which will give you a very clear, color-coded overview of what it's like when the letters are joined. Okay, now we're going to move now to the board to explain to you exactly how to achieve that. Okay, the hand movement and the position of the letter, when they are joined. Now, I need to explain to you that Arabic is written in a joint form. Each letter, where it's necessary, is joined to the following letter. Let's have a look at the both family, for instance, ba, ta, and tha, in isolate format and how they join. This is our ba, one dot below, ba, and ta, tha. Because they're the same family, so we're going to treat that shape in one go. Now, take ba for instance. This is ba, beginning. Note how that I curtail the ba. So it's not in a full shape now, just at the beginning with an extension in readiness to join with the next letter. Now that's the extension is coming through now. The next letter, which is ta in this case, ta also extend itself. So we have beginning of the ta is here, the corner. I'm putting 2 dots there rather than in the middle in the isolate format. So extension coming from the ba to join the ta, and ta it extending itself to join the tha. Let's look at it. That's the extension, continuation of that extension, and the last letter will be formulated in its total shape. So we have ba, the beginning. This is the middle shape, and this is finer one. So when it's written, it will become like this. You write the whole lot, formulate all the shape first, and then you go back to put the dots and the vowel. So you do ba, ta, tha in one go. Then you go back, dot for the ba, 2 dots for the ta, and 3 dots right in the middle for the tha. If you have any vowel like ba and ta and tha, you then, after you've done your dots, you then go back to do your fatha a, fatha on ta, ta, and fatha on tha, tha. So you need smooth writing, and then you go back to do the necessary item. One more time. Ba, ta, tha. Dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, fatha, fatha, fatha. Ba, ta, tha. Fatha, fatha, fatha. That's the principle. Any curves, you cut it off, you straighten the letters on the line until you reach the last one, which will, write in its completion completely. Now let's do another letter, three letters like a jim, ha, and kha. Now, Jim, remember how to write it? Line, and then capital C, line, capital C, line, capital C. Jim, ha, ha. To join them, because you have all these tails, you have to cut that tail off, link it with the next letter until you reach the last one. Then the last one will be written completely. Right, let's try. So the Jim, for instance, you write Jim straight. Now when you are writing this particular family, you extend the letter, then you reposition your hand. Not continually this time. You stop, reposition your hand, and then write the next one on top of it. This is like a chair on which the next letter is going to rest. So the Jim and the ha extension, and then the last one, which is ha. So you have Jim, ha has no dot, and the ha has a dot. So we have Jim, ha, and ha. Note how the tails has been removed to make sure that they are sitting on top of the line until you reach the last letter, which is going to be in its normal glory in writing. Right, so that's Jim, ha. Now, you know the alphabet, ba, ta, tha, Jim, ha, ha. Right, next letter, what are they? You have 4 letters now coming, and that's a dal, Val, Ra, and Zain, or Za. Right, those are this one. Dal, Val, Ra, Zain. Now, you note that I omitted the Alif, which is the first letter, which should be here. Write it here, Alif. There's a reason for that. The reason is there are 6 letters in the alphabet that cannot be extended to join the letter to their left. We call them naughty letters. There are 6 of them. You have Alif, Dal, Zal, Ra, Za. The sixth is Wow. Right, let's see how they actually work. I'm going to introduce one of them. Let's say if I introduce one of them after here. Let's say I introduce Alif here. How do I join them? So these are very well-behaved letters. They will extend and join. Now ba extend to join ta, ta, and ta will join alif. Now alif cannot be extended to the left. So you leave it as it is. The next letter you just write it on its own. So you have ba and ta, alif and tha. So that's why we call this one naughty letter, because it refuses to extend kind of hands of friendship to join the next letter to his left. If we put dal or zal or ra or za or wow, it's the same thing will happen. Let's try. So you have ba, ta, and then dal. Next, you just say right. That's your father. That's your dot, 2 dots. You cannot extend this dal to join to the left. For a simple reason, really, because if we do that, the dal is going to lose his identity. He cannot be recognized as a dal anymore. So those are the naughty letters. Inshallah, once we check these up in the book, and then we practice, and then you'll be able to see further explanation on what is happening. Now we've done now ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha. You know about dal, zal, ra, za, and alif and wow, how they behave. Okay, now I need to explain to you further about the 12 letters we previously learned how to join. Now on page 16 and page 17 of the book, plenty of exercise for you there to do later on, but let me just call your attention to the letters here on these pages. Ba, ta marbuta, which I will explain to you exactly what the meaning of ta marbuta in a second. Tha, jim, ha, and kha. Now, let me just put the book down for 1 second and explain the hand movement. Ba, isolate. Ba at the beginning, just nicely sitting on the line. That's ba, the beginning, extension to join the next bar, continuation of the line, if it's too long, and the end, final bar, joined ba, 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 ba. Ta, isolate. Ta, beginning. Ta, middle. Ta, the end. And join ta, 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 ta. Oops. Tha, isolate. Tha, beginning. Tha, middle. Tha, final. Joined tha, tha, tha. Tha, tha, tha. Jim, isolate. Jim, beginning. Jim, the middle. Jim, the end, final. Joined. Jim, 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 Jim. Ha, isolate format. Ha, beginning. Ha, middle. Ha, final. Join format. Note how I am, when I write the first one, the second one in the middle, I stop and lift, repositioning my hand before I write the middle one. So, ha, that's a chair on which the middle one is going to sit. Middle, another chair for the final one to sit on, and then write the final one on top of it. Ha, 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 ha. That's how you write this family. Ha, isolate. Ha, beginning. Ha, middle. Ha, final. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. Let me explain ta marbuta to you as I promised earlier. Ta marbuta is a tied up ta as opposed to the open up ta, ordinary one. That's an ordinary ta. You have tied up ta, is this, with 2 dots, or this format, 2 dots. Ta marbuta has a significance and the reason for it, but that will come much later in the series. But you need to know that ta marbuta is only found at the end of the word. It cannot be at the beginning, and you will not find it in the middle. That will be the last letter of whatever word requires ta marbuta. Now, this type of ta marbuta is written like this when you have a naughty letter before it. Alif, dal, dal, ra, zain, or waw. For instance, if I give you 4 letters, what we found, okay, I'll give you the ha, jim, ra, and ta marbuta. That will be joined as follows. Ha, middle, jim in the middle, ha at the beginning, jim in the middle, ra, because this is a naughty letter, it cannot be extended. So ta marbuta, we use this stand alone. Ta marbuta. That's how it's going to look. Look what is going to happen if we have another ta marbuta, but without any naughty letter before it. Let's say, such as, for instance, if I play around with these letters, I start with this time with jim, and ra, and ha, ta marbuta. Let's see what happened now, because this ha is not a naughty letter. It can be extended to the left. Let's see, jim, that's the beginning, ra, ha, extended, and ta marbuta. We're using this type of ta marbuta, and because, so you have your jim, so jim, ra, ha, and ta marbuta. Compare and contrast. Here we use this type of ta marbuta. Why? Because we have one of the naughty letter before it. And here we use this type because the letter immediately before ta marbuta is an ordinary letter which can be extended to the left to join ta marbuta, and that's exactly what happened. Hence we have this shape. So one more note before we go is this ta marbuta. You will see another letter which you've already learned. It's written like this, but without 2 dots. That is not ta marbuta. That is ha. You may remember. That's ha. And that's another shape of ha. Also is written less like this at the end when you have any naughty letter before it. And if you have a letter which is not a naughty letter before it and it's at the end, it will also be written like this without dots. For instance, if I give you an example, for instance, you can look at, let's say we have wow, jim, and this ha. So it's be written like this, wow, jim extended to join the ha. That is ha, not ta marbuta. Ta marbutas always with 2 dots, just like an ordinary ta, 2 dots. But if you find the same shape, but without 2 dots, that is ha at the end. But if you have this one without 2 dots, it is also ha at the end, and that will be if you have one of the naughty letter before it. Right, okay. Now, you have the sample of this in the book. So go and check page 16 and page 17, where you find the explanation as well as an exercise which you can do, and you will confirm what you've just learned. Well done, progress been made.